For more, let's welcome in Pennsylvania Congressman Dan Meuser. Congressman, great to see you this morning. So we're hearing this could be the longest government shutdown in history. What do you think? Do you see an end in sight?
Well, first off, great being with you both. I love what you had to say opening up. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of news out there, and unfortunately being created by the Democrats' very irrational approach towards our government remaining open. I mean, this thing all started with a clean CR. Then they listed some ridiculous demands, such as providing health care to illegals and gutting the BBB and spending another $1.4 trillion. And then they came up with this ACA initiative. And meanwhile, they voted not to pay our military 10 different times. They won't pay our military. Now, the president is figuring out ways, the White House is figuring out ways to pay our military and our Custom and Border Patrol and TSA, but they got to move a lot of money around, and Russ Voigt is now someone that has to be the accountant in being able to pay those that we deem essential. Clearly, the Democrats don't. You know, you had Mark Wayne on earlier, and look, he's trying to be the adult in the room. We want to try to come up with something to allow our government to sustain this great economy that the president has created. And that's probably the main reason behind this. Yeah. You know, you hear Schumer, it's all about his politics and his survival against AOC, you know, scary AOC. And then secondly, and I say that sarcastically because, you know, the guy's been in Washington for 45 years. And then, and it's all about just stopping the president's successful agenda. That's what Hakeem Jeffries is about.
Yeah, I don't get the strategy here, Congressman. I mean, to vote to close the government's one thing, then to not even just do a clean bill to pay the men and women who put on the uniform of the United States. To me, the 2026 midterm ads are writing themselves as we speak. And I don't see a way out of it for Democrats.
Mark, it's disgraceful. It's irrational. They're doing it just to slow us down, to make themselves relevant. And now they're proclaiming this big, even on most of the news stations, thankfully not yours, how great this No Kings rally is going to be, this anti-American protest that's going to take place, where they're claiming there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people. We shall see. But you know what? This is the leadership's way of protesting. Right? You got people in the streets. They're up against ICE. They're up against law enforcement. In Illinois, they're saying, leave our criminals alone. They're our criminals. This is the way Schumer, this is what the party is about, providing that level of support for things that are really just protests towards what would be constructive for our country. And that's what they're standing in the way of. And you have a few that aren't. You got John Fetterman, at least, from Pennsylvania. I mean, John Fetterman is being isolated because he's for closed borders, he's anti-crime, he's pro-energy, he's not for the government shutdown, and he's pro-Israel. So therefore, he's now persona non grata within the Democrat Party.
And he's even calling it the Schumer shutdown. And as you can imagine, Mike Johnson's very, very frustrated and furious. He was frustrated yesterday on day 16 when, again, they couldn't vote again. Take a look at what he had to say.
Together and build that consensus is not possible until we get the government operating again and we stop holding. I get very upset about that. We stop holding the American people hostage for these ridiculous political games. People see what's going on here. We should not have Border Patrol agents not paid right now because Chuck Schumer wants to pay political games to cover his tail. I don't know how much more simply to say that, and every single one of you know that's exactly what's going on. I don't like being mad, Mike. I want to be happy, Mike. I want to be the happy warrior, but I am so upset about this.
Yeah, we want Happy Mike back. Just about 30 seconds. What do you make of what he had to say?
You don't see that often. Yeah. He's extremely frustrated. But the good news is President Trump keeps moving forward, right? Peace deals. The economy's going well. We're working on health care pricing with pharma. There's so many positive things. They're not able to stop them no matter what. So that might be what brings them to the table, saying, you know what, they're moving on without us. The show is going on. We're continuing to work within our committees. We're going to continue to do our jobs. We're doing a lot of work within our districts. So hopefully they'll see their foolishness doesn't matter that much. Yeah. Get on board. Figure something out, agree to the fact that we will talk about, if they actually want to talk about ACA reforms, we can do that immediately upon opening the government back up.
Yeah, you guys are open to conversation. All right, Congressman Dan Meuser, great to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right. Well